My name is Sophia. I am 17 years old, and I come from a middle-class family. In my home, topics like relationships, love, or the first night after marriage were never discussed. It was as if those subjects didn't exist. Everyone stayed silent, and silence itself became the answer. I grew up believing that such things were private, even secret, and no one would ever explain them to me. When my parents decided it was time for me to get married, I didn't argue. I trusted them, and I respected their choice. But inside, I was not ready. I loved my husband, but still I was afraid, deeply afraid. On the day of my wedding, everything looked bright on the outside. There were guests everywhere, music, laughter, endless greetings, and colorful dresses. People congratulated me, smiled, and wished me happiness. But inside my chest was a storm. My mind kept asking questions that had no answers. What really happens on the first night? Will it hurt? Will I be judged? Will I disappoint him? Am I too young, too unprepared? No one had told me anything real. My friends only joked about it. My mother stayed silent. My sisters avoided the subject. Everything I thought I knew came from movies, where everything looked magical, dramatic, and unreal. I couldn't tell what was truth and what was fantasy. When the ceremony was over and the noise slowly disappeared, I found myself sitting alone in a decorated room. The bed was covered with flowers, the lights were soft, and the air smelled of perfume. I sat quietly, my hands pressed against my lap. I kept adjusting my dress, fixing my scarf, running my fingers nervously over the fabric. My hands were shaking, my heart was racing, and I didn't dare to look at myself in the mirror. I felt like a child pretending to be an adult. Then I heard the door open. My whole body froze. He walked in slowly. My husband. His name was Hassan. He didn't look rushed or proud or arrogant. He simply smiled, a soft, gentle smile. I lowered my eyes because I couldn't face him. My thoughts screamed inside me. Is this the moment? Is everything going to change forever? Am I ready for what comes next? He came closer but stopped, at a respectful distance. Then he sat beside me. After a pause, he spoke in a calm voice. Sophia, you don't have to be scared. I know this is new. It's new for me too. Let's just talk. No pressure. Those words felt like a warm blanket wrapped around me on a cold night. My heart slowed down. My shoulders dropped. I finally looked up and saw kindness in his eyes. I whispered, almost afraid, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. He smiled and said, Me too. For the first time that night, I laughed, even if it was just a small laugh. That tiny moment broke the wall between us. We were no longer strangers standing on opposite sides of silence. We were two people, nervous but honest, sitting side by side. The most powerful tool on the first night and in every night after is communication. Talk, ask, share. Tell your partner what makes you nervous, what makes you comfortable, what you want and what you don't want. Don't hide your feelings. Don't pretend to be someone you are not. Real love is not about perfection. It is about honesty. Respect is more beautiful than appearance. Listening is more powerful than pretending. Patience is more romantic than performance. When I look back now, I smile at how afraid I was. I cried before my wedding night, thinking it would be painful, embarrassing, or shameful. But it was none of that. It was calm, emotional, and deeply meaningful. It was not about bodies coming together. It was about hearts meeting for the first time in truth. We laughed, we talked, we held hands until our fingers felt like they belonged together. And that is what made it special. I want every young person to understand this. Do not fear your first night. Do not let movies, gossip, or silence control your expectations. Do not compare your story to anyone else's. Every couple's journey is unique. You deserve to feel safe, respected, and valued. You deserve patience and kindness. And above all, you deserve to know that intimacy is not a one-time performance. It is a lifelong connection built slowly, step by step. So when the time comes, don't think of it as an exam you must pass. Think of it as the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where you learn, grow, and share. A chapter where you replace fear with trust, silence with communication, and pressure with love. That is the real truth I discovered, and it is a truth I want others to carry with them. As I sit and reflect on that night, I realize how much pressure society puts on young people, especially girls. There is this invisible expectation that everything must be perfect, that you must already know what to do, that you cannot make mistakes. But the truth is, no one is born knowing these things. No one enters marriage with all the answers. We all learn as we go, step by step, just like learning how to walk or how to speak. The first night is not about performance or competition. It is simply the first page of a long story that two people will write together. This is something I want every girl and boy to hear. You do not have to prove your worth through performance. You do not have to pretend you are experienced. You do not have to act like you know everything. What you need is honesty, patience, and a heart willing to listen. If you can offer those things to each other, the rest will follow naturally. The first night is not about bodies. It is about hearts. It is not about performance. It is about patience. It is not about shame. It is about safety. It is not about pretending. It is about truth. If you carry these lessons with you, not only your first night but every night after will be filled with meaning. So to every young person listening, I say this: don't let fear control you. Don't let silence confuse you. Don't let false standards pressure you. Step into your marriage with honesty, with patience, and with a willingness to learn. And remember that your story does not have to look like anyone else's. Your journey is your own, and it is precious. When I look back on my 17-year-old self, trembling in a decorated room, I feel compassion for that girl. She was so afraid of the unknown. But I am grateful that she discovered the truth, that love is not a performance, but a connection. Not a test, but a journey. Not a source of fear, but a place of comfort. And that truth is something I will carry with me forever. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Emma English Practice. Amon storyt iar inda someone